other things came up. I went on vacation. It was super fun. And I've been doing a lot of streams on Cuddle. It's a live streaming app where it's podcast based, and I've been having a lot of fun. There's 800 followers on there. I hope to goodness gracious they all follow me to YouTube. Yikes, that did not age well, even though it was months ago. Hey guys, this is GreywandererXD, and we're going to be talking about Cuddle. This is the old logo, and the polar bear is the new logo. I'm just going to be going over a live analysis about technical issues and various other things that are misleading and disingenuous. See ya! Hello and welcome, everybody. You're going to be hearing me during real time. There's going to be a bit of issue with mixing the audio and also having the video. Say this at the forefront of it. But as you can see, we're at cuddlelive.com, and you see the little mascot, friends, talk show, singing, love, gossip, too much gossip, friends, talk show, you know, the general stuff that you get while on this app. And it says, get vocal on Cuddle. Cuddle is an interactive live streaming application connecting people across the globe. You get like a link that says get on Google Play or the App Store. So we'll go on the Google Play Store. Now, within the footage, you're going to immediately notice it doesn't really say directly 500K plus. It says 100K plus within the little marketing video. Don't be fooled. If you go on your phone right now, go to the Google Play Store, it has 500K plus downloads. This is really important for later, so please keep that in mind. You see that's for mature 17 and plus. And you're going to immediately notice this in their own policies. They don't allow anyone that's below 13 to make an account. If you are below 13 and you make an account, you get banned. But the main thing is, in the own Google Play Store, it is 17 plus. That's something to keep in mind. It's highly reviewed by 4,467 people as of right now to date. And that's something you need to understand within this sort of thing. So let's look at the description. We're going to have a bit of description talking, and I'm going to try and get you to understand how this app actually is and stuff like that, because it's very disingenuous. So, Cuddle like house party and Clubhouse. Free group voice chat room app. Random live chat with strangers, seek, date, and find friends. Sing, karaoke, and play music, ASMR sleep, and join HQ trivia. Grow fans and make money. Have fun with friends at this house party online. Now, this sounds like a bunch of PR speak. Essentially, what they're trying to say is make it sound more interesting than what it actually is. So, first and foremost, it's a podcast app. It just doesn't have any video. It's just mainly audio. You're streaming that audio, and people can click in. They can send texts directly to you, or they can call in at any point and just generally have a fun time, and you could talk with a bunch of people. I recommend not actually having a lot of people call in at the same time. You can have up to 5 people, but I highly do not recommend it, because within physical interactions, there's body language to show, hey, I'm about to speak, but online, that's not the case. So a lot of the time, people would actually just be speaking over each other, not giving each other a chance. So they just speak as loudly as possible to get their voice in. So highly do not recommend it. But few things we're going to address here is random live chat with strangers, seek, date, and find friends, and then grow fans and make money. These are very important for different reasons that we're going to be covering in the next part of the video, but during this one, we're just going to be trying to make a basis of a case. So, Cuddle is not a dating app, but it says in the description, date and find friends. I guess it's a contradiction of logic. I do not know. I understand that it's not at the forefront a dating app. However, their advertisements originally within late June and early July dictate that was not the case. So essentially, there were 3 advertisements for Cuddle, and if you were to go on YouTube and scroll down your recommended videos within the home tab, you would see advertisements of Cuddle either asking, "Are you depressed? Why don't you get social on Cuddle?" It's like, okay. "Hey, are you lonely and need more socializing? Do it on Cuddle." Okay. But the main thing is there was an actual advertisement that literally was like, "Need love? Why don't you try Cuddle?" And it was basically 3 different advertisements. So there were 3 different people that actually joined the app. The first demographic were people that just really like social media and stuff like that. And they didn't really know you couldn't really do much. You were highly restricted just to podcasting. And the second demographic were people that were mentally ill or depressed, wanting to speak about it and stuff like that. So the third demographic was people that were thirsty and really wanted to get a person to date them. And you find this later on why this is contentious. Then it goes in like, yes, people do date on here, but it's not the forefront. And I understand why they say that, but it's disingenuous to the advertisement they have. Cuddle is not a radio app. So this is essentially trying to scapegoat the copyright system that we have within America and other countries. And essentially, it makes sure they don't have to have copyrights to actually play music in the middle of their streams. By the way, music playing in the middle of the stream, you cannot get primary source audio by MP3 files or anything like that. So you immediately have to third party source it, which is you play in the background and your mic catches it. And it sounds very staticky and doesn't sound good for anyone. So keep that in mind. Yes, we have DJs, but we're not that. Come on. Come on. What do cuddlers love about Cuddle? Join a free random chat room where you can send messages / emojis, call in to talk and interact directly with a DJ, and send them virtual gifts to show your love and appreciation. Oh my god. So the main thing is you're going to have to look at virtual gifts real quick. That's their basic way of saying you can donate to streamers and they can cash out with the digital currency they have. And now, I think nowadays they have 2 digital currencies. One is like Starbits or whatever the heck, and coins. Coins were the original thing, but now it's the Starbits. It's a weird, complicated system that I don't really have the time to go into. But essentially, in the early days of the app, that was your main way of getting money. And personally, I never cashed out because eventually they inflated the virtual currency. So $50 was not actually worth $50. It was actually worth something greater than that compared to the digital currency. Climb the leaderboards. Now, this is directly showing that there's a competition, but it also is trying to mainline feature one of the main problems of the app. And the thing is what happened is when they first introduced these sort of like events and stuff like that, they would put who has the most of this certain type of digital currency, which was like the event items that you can send to your favorite streamers, and they can get points based off the event, based off how much they have. And essentially incentivize that people would ask their viewers to send them that stuff if they like the streams. But eventually, as all systems go online, it eventually became corrupt, where a bunch of people was, let's just say, utilizing the friendliness of others to gain something out of it. Or they started using provocative titles and pictures to gain a mass following that will just be diehard to donate to them. So that's something you have to understand within all of this. Participate in different events. I already said stuff like that. All of that's basically saying there's rewards for doing stuff. I'm going to skip a few of these, but one thing I do want to address is, why do cuddlers love Cuddle? So it says, are you bored? Listen to hundreds of casual and friendly group chats with topics ranging from music, singing, karaoke, love, games, relationships, friends, ASMR, horoscope, and trivia. Okay, it just says there's a broad range of topics. Okay, cool. Don't feel like putting on makeup? Doesn't matter. We're different from caffeine, Bigo Live, Live Me, or Periscope, or Scope, sorry. Because you can meet new friends without showing your face. Enjoy a live, real, fun, easy, and safe experience. Now, I'm going to call BS on two things within this paragraph alone. Not even a paragraph, but a few sentences. First things first, don't feel like putting on makeup. Let's be honest here. You have two different ways of putting pictures on the app. You have your profile picture and then the stream picture. So one thing you have to get into mind is that when you're on the internet and there's a monetization scheme or anything like that, there's going to be highly attractive women flocking to it to make a killing based off effortless but somewhat time-consuming sort of monetization. So the main thing is people would do this sort of thing. I've witnessed it so many times. It was kindly annoying. And the thing is, there would be an attractive woman, and she would put at the forefront of her picture, of her profile picture, was an innocent selfie, right? But during the stream icon, they would put a very sexy, provocative sort of picture to attract more male or female. It could have been a male streamer doing that for female viewers. I'm not going to discriminate in that case. But the main thing is, it was a highly attractive individual showing off something to attract the opposite gender via provocative pictures or titles. Most of them insinuated that they were single. They would use various other means of some innuendo, or they would even outright reference to aphrodisiac, which within their terms of services and guidelines is illegal and should have resulted in bans, but never did. So that is something to address within that alone. That's absolute BS. You're going to find, if you download it today, there's at least one person with a provocative title or stream picture. That's entirely disingenuous. But another thing is safe chat. So you're talking with a bunch of strangers online, and there's going to be kids that are going to join the app. I mean, heck, I would literally fake my age account in early days with YouTube just so I can watch some videos I really should not have watched. And the main thing is, I was a kid. I didn't know. I just thought, hey, this looked like a cool video. And then I deeply regretted it. But the main thing is, I made that decision. And should I regret it? Yeah. But I'm at the forefront of blame there. So the main thing is, there's going to be kids that are going to join the app. And based off their policies and their guidelines and stuff like that, you're actually going to see that good old Cuddle allows people that are 13 and up, even though the app is mature, which is 17 plus. And the main thing is you're talking to random strangers, there's bound to be pedophiles. It doesn't take a genius to realize there's going to be pedophiles. You can look on TikTok, Instagram, any social media. If there's a young individual in any form of way, there's going to be an older man looking at their profile, and or not man, it could be woman too. Look at their profile, and it's just creepy. But in this case, Cuddle has been confirmed to have a few pedophiles on it. Various ones were actually confirmed by law, and actually lost some charges on account of a few things, but let's not get into that. Let's just say a few of them were convicted of pedophilia or trying to solicit a minor, because 16 is still below 18. It doesn't take a mathematician to realize that that is a lesser number than the actual number you should be looking for if you are looking for someone of, let's say, within relationship matters. So that's something you have to realize. There's a bunch of kids joining this, about early teens to late teens, and there's a bunch of adults in there that are trying to basically prey upon them. Is that right? No, obviously. But the main thing is, Cuddle can't really do that, anything about that, because people do as people will. And the main thing is, all I can say is, yes, that sucks. And yes, I believe they should outright ban someone if they even have a report of pedophilia. But also, at the same time, most of the kids, they have to fake their age. And it was, even when I was streaming primarily, most of the streams were explicit. I was one of the only people that had non-explicit streams. And I would have kids come in and they would be like, well, I can't join any other stream because all of them are explicit. They're 18 plus. So I was like, cool, just stay here, relax, man. And stuff like that. So the main thing is, a lot of people, they were limited to either lying or attending my streams, and both are horrendous crimes. But that's the main thing. You have to realize that. Then it says, feeling lonely. We have an active community and social club, and tons of talented singers, anime and manga lovers, gamers, and comedians. So it's basically is they're trying to basically capture a demographic that is more antisocial and lonely. This is going to be important later. We're going to be looking at a few reviews real quick. Let me pull them up. Okay. I found a really good review for this. And I think this would be actually pretty good. It's not as recent. It was from last Halloween. So take that with a grain of salt. But there are going to be recent reviews within this video, or this part of the video. This person reviewed it 1 star, saying, the app has no practical usage other than meeting cam girls to tip them money so they can show you, the viewer, cleavage. Overall, seems like a new idea to push the concept of half-naked women degrading themselves for money. But for a more PG audience, the developer apparently didn't like what I had to say the first time. I was even urged to make a new review, so here it is. So at the forefront of this, he's basically declaring that this is going to be a cam girl app, And let me just say, he's not exactly wrong, but he's not exactly right. First and foremost, cam girls is expected to have like a person in front of a camera that is doing things based off donations of various things, right? Within Cuddle itself, it is somebody attractive using that attractiveness to garner a sort of audience, or just generally try and get donations. But general within the actual app, it's just your voice. You're not going to see an actual camera, which is a bit off, but I can see where he's coming from at the forefront of his review. The second thing is, he brought up, I was even urged to make a new review, so here it is. So this is a weird concept because I have called out Cuddle many times on Instagram. If you just look at my previous post history, you would see all of that. And they never once told me to take down any of those posts, even though I was calling them out for nefarious purposes. And they just let me be. They don't care. Even though their social media does attract a lot of people, and I would purposely tag them within the post to make sure I was in their sort of viewpoint, and make sure other people can see it within their profile. So it's a bit weird that Cuddle is basically saying, hey, do a different review. You know? So I'm just saying at the forefront, I'm not saying they don't, but I could see that because reviews is what gets people to download the app. And if you actually looked at the Google Play Store, a lot of them are highly positive. There's actually a marginalized amount of negative reviews, if not 4-star. So that's something to take into consideration. We're going to go to our next review. Let's see here. Okay, so this one is 3/2/20. It was 6 days before my 20th birthday. Heads up. Rules are stupid. Quotas are ridiculously unattainable and unjust. If you are applying as a host, don't bother. They will just make your life miserable. One stupid rule is you can only speak English in this app when it's globally advertised. Donors are not even English speakers. So what they're bringing up is their monetization scheme, which is official host. Back then, they would, if you were like a highly successful streamer within the platform, they would send you an email saying, hey, why don't you become an official host? I cannot show anything within that contract, legally binding and stuff like that. I never signed the contract nor even became an official host, but some of the terminology, sorry, just had a stroke there, basically declares if you show this or tell anyone about the finer details within the contract, they can sue you and they can fine you. So I'm just saying I will not bring up the specifics. However, I can see a lot of the rules within that contract are indeed very strict and very hard. Personally, they give you a really good sum of money based off your donations. I can say that much. But the main thing is they had a lot of weird rules. And I'll probably go and say this now. I did not become an official host for purposes that I did not want to be censored. I believe of freedom of speech, obviously. But the main thing is I don't want to be told you can't speak about this when I want to speak about something. So that's kindly something I did not like. I think that would be generally the take that most people would not like. So I guess take that with a grain of salt. I also thought if I was getting paid for it and that was the forefront of my reasoning behind doing it, then I'm just not going to really do it. I want to entertain people. I have a philosophy of, hey, if I'm the entertainer, then it's my obligation to entertain my audience. And that's generally what I did. I tried to entertain my audience and help them when they needed it. So that's generally it. I don't think I ever seen the role for English only, but it could exist. I don't know. They might have revised that contract because this is rather old. Um, so this person is a older partaking within the app. I don't have the date within the screenshot. Super sorry. I had the app before and really enjoyed it. So when I got it again, I was hoping for the same experience. But when I got on the app, I found that an unfavorable change was made. Now you have to be a certain level to host your own chat room. And to get your level higher, you need to get cuddle points. The process of getting cuddle points to get a higher level is a tedious job and not worth it, in my opinion. I would love to use the app, but don't want to put in all the work just to host my own chat room. So, whenever I came back temporarily, I had to do that myself. Even though I have like 1,000 followers back then, I had to do that. I was kind of like, why are they doing this? You don't limit people based off arbitrary things whenever you're marketing for everyone could get into it. That's kind of out there. You know what I mean? Let's look here. Um, let's look for another fun little review. That's a technical issue. I think they probably have fixed that recently. Let's see here. Disappointing app. Why do you remove the verified badges? Most of the top 50 hosts you guys have doesn't even have content. I hope the person meant content. All I see is flirting, no substance, hate the app, very unfair. Most of the hosts right now don't have a meaningful stream. They only ask for coins. That's it. And that is kindly true. After they introduced monetization, the people kind of changed their perspective on why they would stream and stuff like that. This person downloaded the app at 4/26/20. I have downloaded this app because I heard from a friend that I could earn money by live streaming, but nothing in your app gives information on how to receive or make money using the app. The information, you can actually find it very easy, but back then you could not. I would recommend if you want that. They usually advertise it frequently at the top of the app, so just look there. But the main thing is that shouldn't be the forefront of your motivation. But I'm not gonna preach about that. You do you, man. Um, let's see here. This is the weirdest app I've ever encountered. I submitted a request to delete my own account, but it hasn't been deleted yet. Or hasn't been delayed yet. Sorry. And did I mention you have to submit a request to an email and wait for them, whoever that is, to delete your account? I'm still waiting. If I could give a rating less than 0, I would. So this person is bringing up a very interesting perspective, and there's like various reviews that also have been stating they wish to delete their account, but they can't delete their account. This is going to come up in a bit, and it's going to be during my sort of analysis phase, which we're about to start. This is when everything is going to come together, so hope you're having fun. Hello, and we're going to be watching a little screen recording of my good old phone, and I'm going through all the broadcasts within 2 p.m. on May 24th, 2020. And as you can see, a few of these are kindly interesting. Toasted looks kind of cool. 2 days, forefront, a very attractive girl, kind of provocative. Help me, guys, an all-star battle. Don't know what that's about. I'm crying. I feel bad about that. Chill vibes only is straight up just breast, just covered in crappy little drawings. A lot of people are doing help me reach 10K. Okay. Um, only Indians. Okay. 10K stars. You're just wanting money. Um, some of these people don't really seem too happy. um, and then I just kindly thought this was over, so I was about to end that, but that's okay. Grand Theft Auto 5 with attractive girl. I'm assuming girl. That's quite presumptuous of me, but I'm assuming. So that's kind of what was going on in that. However, there's another one. Yeah, only about 50 minutes later. And it's going through all these. One of these are going to be censored due to the fact that it has sensitive material. Bria Boo is an example of provocative screen or stream pictures. The one that I stopped on right here, I censored because that I don't believe it would be right to show that off in the video. I did join the stream afterwards to make sure they were okay, but they ended the stream before I could get to them. I feel really bad about that, but I hope they got the help they needed. But as you can clearly see from all of these, is that they have low amounts of people for something that has 500K plus downloads. There's barely anybody in these. Most of them are just females in the stream. So it's kind of weird. Not gonna lie. The main thing is we're going to have another video here. And it's going through my fans list. My fans list was about 2,000 people, so I had a good amount of people. Mohammed Tajiki is a good case for two case scenarios. One case scenario is somebody that downloaded the app and followed the recommended 24 to 26 streamers and then delete the app immediately after. Could be this. However, I believe is a bot. The reason why I say this is because even Emmanuel Ortiz, he even shows, hey, I'm a stagnant account that has zero information. At least somebody would have personalized their account and they would not use their actual name. As you can see from this scroll up of actual users that this person's following, they don't use their real name most of the time, and even if they do, it's just their first name more than likely. I'm showing you a actual user on there just to show you this is an actual account, this is not. I'm not going to rule out the possibility this is actually an account made by somebody and they deleted the app, but they can't delete the account because their policies on Cuddle is basically, hey, we own your account. You can't delete it unless we delete it for you. And that's how you kindly know something isn't right. So a lot of these beforehand did not have any followers. I went to look, and then there was Masha. I'm not going to even try and attempt that last name. If you look at the follower count, it's like 542,972. If you were to actually do some calculations on your calculator real quick, if you hypothetically did it for 3 seconds per follow, that would take 18.85 days just straight, just following people if this is not a bot. So either this person has a lot of free time on their hands, which they don't because it's not a person, it's a bot. This shows that their database, or at least their integral source coding or something, is jeopardized. There are bots, and we're gonna encounter another bot. Hey, Jello Bird, that's one of my friends. Another account is Julia. Julia is another one of those that only has like 100,000 less follows than good old Masha. But generally, they follow the same sort of thing. They have followed every single account made on Cuddle. And here I click on it. And the main thing is, why? So clearly, they have something wrong with their servers, and this is bots. This is 100% bots. There's no theoretical or physiological way in a technological manner that these are not bots. And I will stand by that. Now, the other accounts are just like Mohammed and Emmanuel, I think. I'm probably mispronouncing the name. However, those could just be simply accounts that were made by somebody, didn't like the app, they left the app. Right? So the main thing is, you have to realize these were either accounts that people just couldn't delete, or these were bots. There's only about a few options we could have in that. I personally don't know. So, yeah. So what does this have to do with anything about Cuddle? Why bring up technical issues with an app? And why bring up anything whatsoever? Because it seems like a low-time app. Not a lot of people are currently using it. And anything like that. And why the hell is the title A Polar Bear Preying Upon Mentally Ill People? Well, I'll answer all of those. One, the technical issues kind of highlight the actual issues that you could be jeopardized with just by simply going onto the app. I know that bots are not adherently, let's say, malicious in terms of how they function within the app, but I do want to bring up the issues with pedophilia. You cannot delete your own account. You are basically going into the app, and it's a bunch of people that are either trying their best to get the most money possible or create a following and be a social influencer, a public influencer, or social media influencer. At the end of the day, I wanted to bring that up because at the forefront, having a technical understanding of the app itself allows you to understand the deeper integrated issues that I'm presenting. Another thing is that I bring up all of this because I have a personal connection with it. Even within my videos, I mentioned it several times. And Cuddle is about to be a year old. And a year ago, I was doing this just for fun. And my YouTube channel is going to be 3 years old coming of June. And a lot of my videos have been deleted. I personally deleted them because they were poor quality. I didn't really like them. And that, but Cuddle itself is integrated in my history. And I think because I have a disposition towards I naturally dislike the technical issues and stuff like that. I believe I should bring those up. But however, I dislike them for an entirely different reason. I dislike Cuddle because it monetizes loneliness. Let's think about it this way. Whenever the app first created, it was based around lonely people coming together. All the advertisements were for antisocial, lonely people, and they just wanted a form of affection or reciprocated responses or just to be understood. I think a lot of people within the beginning of the app had that at the forefront because I remember a lot of people um, just generally having a hard time socializing and then they got into it. But after monetization was introduced to the app, people changed. Streamers changed. The whole dynamic between the streamer and audience changed so drastically that it was just weird. Um, you would have people like SK, I'm not going to say his full name, who would heavily endorse that you were nothing to him unless you were paying. He will pay you some within your own streams, but you had to donate to him during events and stuff like that. And a lot of people he would talk down to like they were nothing. And I believe money is not the forefront of the issue, but I believe people seeking out companionship and how they created this sort of platform for it and then monetized it and then created other issues with it is at the forefront of why I'm very disappointed in the app, but also very sad that it became that way. You had a bunch of attractive people that flocked to the app, obviously, and you're going to have a bunch of lonely male people, probably from the ages of 20, I would say about 20 to 35. I think that was a pretty reasonable age gap or range within it. Um, and they were lonely people and they didn't know how to react to it. They were probably, based off my experience of listening to several guys' issues, they were unsuccessful in relationships and they didn't know how to interact with people all too well. And they came to my streams as an escape from reality. And I helped them. I think that's the right thing to do. Within a lot of things, you just help people because it's right. Or you entertain people because that's your job as an entertainer. And one of the things I thought of, there was a person that left the app. He would actually attend my streams regularly, and he would have a fun time. And he made a stream basically saying he was leaving. And I asked him, it's like, what is going on? It's like, well, people only care about me when I donate. No one wants to carry a conversation unless I'm sending money and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, I knew the guy kindly was loose with his wallet. Most people would say, well, that's his fault. And you would be right. It is kind of his fault. But I believe he just wanted attention and affection to be reciprocated by the streamer, right? He just wanted to have a conversation, but the only way they could interact is by sending money. Most of the girls within the stream were the highly attractive and very popular people within the app, and they were basically trying to tell him, don't go. I just told him, hey, you have my Instagram. You have my Snapchat if you need it. You have my email. Don't be a stranger. I support you. Do what you do. I think advocating for actual mental health and stuff like that, you have to put at the forefront the person, not your own wants and needs. The guy was actually pretty nice whenever he entered my streams too, so I kind of more sympathetic and empathetic towards him. Another amount of like people I kindly asked a few questions to, they felt like the app itself was very lonely in the beginning because there wasn't a lot of people. And then whenever they introduced monetization, there was more people. So more people equals less loneliness, right? Then I introduced the question, do you feel that your loneliness was, I would say, satiated, um, even though the person's motivations were of getting money. They didn't interact with you directly because they liked you as a person, but they liked money. And they said, no, I actually would hate that. And I tried to tell them about it. It's like I could actually see that. um, a lot of lonely people are currently being used for profit. You go on Twitch or any OnlyFans.com, Chatterbait, any adult industry website you can go to that has live streaming, and you see at the forefront a bunch of lonely people wanting attention, and they're getting what they want, but the problem is that it doesn't really fix it. It really doesn't. I think that's the main reason why the spirit's lost for the app. I personally hate it, and I feel like people, I hope, will change their mind about it. I've rambled on enough, and I think that my point is clear. There's a lot of technical issues. They prey upon lonely people for monetization and everything else under the stars. And I believe within the evidence that I provided that I'm justified within this sort of conclusion. And I believe there's other videos within YouTube that also explore this narrative that I've just made, really. Not about Cuddle specifically. It's more about Twitch and OnlyFans after the iDubbbz thing. So, just stay safe out there, okay, guys? It's a weird world out there, but just know you're not alone. I'm GreywandererXD. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.